Okay, so I want you to imagine something for a second. Picture an entire temple, not built, but uncovered. A masterpiece that was sculpted not by adding stone, but by taking away an entire mountain. Today, we're going to explore one of the most astonishing architectural achievements in all of human history, the Ellora Caves in India.
So when you look at this, you might think it was built up, right? Brick by brick. But that's not what happened here at all. This entire complex was excavated. Artisans literally started at the top of a cliff and carved their way down, revealing every pillar, every hall, every single intricate statue from the solid rock. It's this breathtaking feat of subtractive creation.
So that's the big question, isn't it? The one that just kind of breaks your brain a little. How on earth do you even begin to plan something like this? How do you build, not by adding, but by removing a literal mountain? All right, so to even start to wrap our heads around this, we've got to talk about the sheer scale of this place. Because we're not just talking about one little temple here. This is a massive complex, a true mountain of caves. Okay, so let's get our bearings. We're in India's Maharashtra state, at a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And get this, for 400 years, think about that, 400 years. Between 600 and 1000 AD, generations of artisans carved out more than 100 caves from these volcanic basalt cliffs. But you know, the how is only half the story. What makes Ellora so unique, so important, is what it represents. This site is a literal meeting point of ancient religions, a true symphony of faiths carved right into the stone. The diversity here is just wow. Of the main caves you can visit, you'll find 17 Hindu, 12 Buddhist, and 5 Jain temples and monasteries. And the key thing here, the really crucial part, is that they weren't in separate little sections. They were carved right next to each other, sharing the exact same rock face. And you can see this beautiful coexistence in the art itself. Like in one cave, you've got this energetic, dynamic Hindu sculpture of a dancing Shiva. Then you just walk a little ways and there's this incredibly peaceful, serene Jain sculpture. Two totally different belief systems, living side by side in the same sacred space. That proximity, it just tells you so much, doesn't it? It's a physical testament to the remarkable religious harmony and tolerance that was flourishing in this part of India over 1,000 years ago. It's pretty amazing to think about. Okay, so we've got the who and the why, but let's get back to the how. How in the world did they actually pull this off? This is where the story goes from impressive to just unbelievable. And it all comes down to one particular style of architecture. They call it monolithic architecture. And what that means is that the entire structure, the pillars, the roof, the statues, everything, is carved from a single continuous piece of rock. Nothing was brought in and added. It was all taken away. And this was their canvas, the volcanic basalt cliffs of the Western Ghats. The architects and sculptors started at the very top, not the bottom, the top. They carved trenches straight down into the rock and then began working their way inwards and downwards, meticulously carving out entire temples as they went. All right, now we've got to zoom in on the absolute crown jewel of Ellora, the one structure that even when you're standing right in front of it is hard to believe is real. I'm talking about Cave 16, the Kailash Temple. Okay, get ready for some numbers that are just going to blow your mind. To create just this one temple, they had to remove an estimated 200,000 tons of solid rock. To put that in perspective, that's the weight of nearly 30,000 elephants, all chipped away by hand with simple hammers and chisels. That's 3 million cubic feet of stone they had to haul away just to reveal the temple that was basically hiding inside the mountain all along. The sheer scale of the human labor involved, it's almost impossible to even comprehend. You know, the art historian Carmel Bergson called it a wonder of the world, and she absolutely nailed it. This is hands down the largest single monolithic excavation anywhere on the planet. And what's so cool is seeing this old drawing from the 1800s next to a photo from today, it looks almost exactly the same. For more than 1,200 years, it's just stood there, an incredible testament to the vision and skill of its creators. And look, it's not just about being big. The detail is where it gets truly breathtaking. Look at these panels. They're telling scenes from the great Hindu epic, the Ramayana. Every single wall is just covered in these incredibly detailed carvings, telling the stories of gods and heroes. Okay, here's one final way to grasp the scale.
The courtyard of this temple, just the courtyard, is twice the size of the Parthenon in Athens. An entire freestanding, multi-story temple complex carved out of one single piece of stone. It's just incredible.
Now, while the Kailash temple is definitely the showstopper, it's just one part of Ellora's story. That legacy of incredible craftsmanship extends across all three faiths you find at the site. For instance, you go into the Buddhist Vishwakarma cave, and the artisans did something so cool it's almost playful. It's known as the Carpenter's Cave, because they painstakingly carved the solid stone ceiling to perfectly imitate wooden support beams. It's this beautiful, reverent nod to older ways of building.
And then you've got the Jain Indra Sabha temple. Now, it might be smaller than some of the others, but wow, it is no less impressive. It has its own little monolithic shrines carved right into the courtyard, creating this stunning temple within a temple effect. And it has some of the most highly detailed and delicate carvings in the entire complex.
So in the end, Ellora stands as this powerful symbol of artistic genius, engineering prowess, and religious harmony. Its creators, they really built for eternity. And it leaves us with a final thought, right? What are we building today that will endure for millennia and tell our story?